Right, today we're going to make a little rocking horse. This is going to be our boro circuit. We're using obviously the mid-range and the minor burner, and we've got two 5 litre oxycons running it. So I'm working with 7mm boro rod and 5mm boro and a little bit of 12 maybe as well. So to start with, we need to make the sort of the rocking part, the skids on the rocking horse. Now I've got a very nice piece of carbon block, like round block here, which I can roll the glass around and mould it. You can use a tin, you can use a baking tray, something like that, anything you've got to hand. So to start with, we'll just use the mid-range torch. And we want to be quite a soft flame, so quite a lot of propane, because what we're trying to do is broadly heat around about sort of 2 to 3 inches of the glass. This is the 5mm boro rod. And we're trying to heat it, not to melting point, but just to a point where we can actually shape it around the carbon block or the mould, whatever you've got to hand. And so you don't want it glowing red, you just want a little bit of movement in it. And obviously we're trying to do as much as possible and keep it nice and straight. So start to mould it around your mould, let it set for a couple of seconds. Having a look at it, straighten it up if it needs it, and then at this point we're going to have to sort of like do the edges. So again, around the mould, and then go to the opposite side. Now we need to do 2 of these, and for speed I've made 2 earlier, and then you just seal them together. So you cut them sort of at about an angle across to give you about sort of 3 inches of glass. So put them down, and what you end up with when you seal them together is a little pair of skids, which is for the rocking horse. So that'll rock backwards and forwards. Now we have to make the horse. So we need to make the horse now to go onto the skids for the rocking horse. So we'll light the torch, and again, we're going to use quite a strong flame on this. We're going to be working with 9mm boro rod, and I'm going to start off, when I make a horse I always start off with the belly, with the stomach. So I'm going to build up a blob in the centre of the 9mm rod and then just let it sag down. And so there's plenty of different ways to do a horse. You can start from, some people start from the head and work backwards through the body into the tail. Some people work from the tail and work forwards. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Myself, the way I was taught and the way I've always found the best way to do it for myself is start from the belly, then do the neck and the head, decorate the head, do the front legs, then go back legs, tail and bottom. So, but doesn't say this is a perfect way, just says the way I do it. So I'm building up a blob. This is going to be around about sort of 20mm. And obviously if you think of a horse, you think the back of the horse, the spine of the horse is quite flat, and then underneath the horse he's got a bit of a belly. So all we need to create that is to heat this blob up and then let it sag down. And so now I'm about sort of 30mm build up, and I've just at this point start to stretch it a little bit. And as you can see, I'm just letting it sag down so that we create a pretty flat top, and then obviously the belly underneath. Then going to the right hand side, I need to build up the neck, and this I'll pull up and form the head as well. And what you're going to try and achieve is a seamless join into the body, because the last thing you want is the body of the horse and then a few lumps and bumps and a thin bit and then a neck, because that's just not how a horse is set up. So it's always better to heat up too much glass and have more glass there than what you need. So I'm heating up an area about equal to the body, and now I'm starting to melt it nice and hot and then melt it into the body. And then bring it around the top of the body part. And now I'm going to start to melt the top of the rod and just start to let the neck come off. Always check to make sure you've got it nice and straight to the body. Now obviously the top part is thinned down quite a bit, that's fine. I'm just going to melt this down again, and melting the rod I'm going to form a bean about sort of 10 mil. And then I'm actually going to push this together and then push it onto the neck. And this will naturally form the horse's head, but it'll also form almost like the cheeks of the horse. And then I need to start thinning this off. And then just with a pair of tweezers, just flatten this down. And if you want to put a couple of nostrils in, again with the tweezers we can. So we need to add a couple of eyes. I mean, it's a rocking horse, so it's not botanic, you know, it's not a biologically correct version of a horse. It's a bit of a comedy horse. And then because it's a little girly's horse as well, we're going to have a pink mane. So I've just pulled some pink stringer down, and I'm just going to lay it up the mane of the neck up to the top. Just laying it on to begin with, because as I go back now, and now I start to melt it on, I can then crimp it with tweezers. And then we'll just have a little tuft of the mane coming off the front as well. And then obviously we need a pair of ears, because the horse can't hear any instructions if it hasn't got ears. So generally just put a little blob on, pinch it with tweezers and then just pull it up a little bit. So now I've got back to the 9mm boro. I'm going to do the legs. So I just need to heat up around about sort of 10-15mm of the boro, and then obviously we need good joins onto the body. So the front legs I'm just going to do straight out. So I'm heating the boro rod, but I've also got the rocking horse behind the flame, so I'm just sort of preheating the area on the body where I'm going to join these legs on. It just speeds things up a little bit. And nice, good join straight in. And then don't pull it out too fast. We just want a nice solid leg. And then just let it turn over. So if you imagine it's like a hoop, but in actual fact that's going to be the contact point onto the skids. We'll go to the other side, measure that, and just measuring it against the glass skids. You only need around about, on this one I only need about 20mm gap between the legs for it to sit on the skids right. So again, just heating up about 10-15mm worth of the 9mm rod, and just heating the body of the horse as well at the same time. Push it in, get a good join. I'm just checking it to make sure it's parallel with the first leg. Remembering we've got that sort of around what 20, I think we said 15-20mm gap between the two legs. So, and the other important thing is to have it level as well. So just check, not quite level, but I'm just going to pull a piece off there. And so we want the horse to stand straight, and I'll just check it against the skids. Yep, it's going to be good. So what I need to do now is take a piece of 7mm boro rod, clean the end up. I'm just going to use this as the handle, so I just need to melt this onto the leg. And then just bring it back in line with the body. So I'm going to heat another 10mm. Up it comes. Obviously the join has to be pretty good because it has to be able to take the weight of the horse as you're working on it. And so now I'm working on the rump of the horse. So just start to melt it up, and then we want to form a little bit, probably the same size as the stomach really, about sort of 20-30mm. But this one, rather than let it hang down to form the stomach, we sort of make it work so it hangs up. So you get the back of the horse, the rump of the horse sort of rising up, which is what the horse actually looks like. So just melt it in nice and round. And then as it starts to set, I just want to make it hang down a little bit, so like say you get the rump of the horse hanging upwards. So to do the back legs on the horse, I do these in two parts. So you do like the thigh and then the calf. Which I know that's more of human, but you know, I don't know if the thigh and the calf refers to a horse as well. So working with a 9mm rod, heat up about 10 mil, heat the body of the rump of the horse again so that you do get, you've got to have that good seal. And then I'm going to pull off like a half moon sort of shape. Just going parallel with the horse's body. So if you see, again, keep the rump, nice good seal. Again, parallel. And I'm just going to compare it to the skids again. So skids on there. Yeah, we're just getting there. So the second part of the leg will just come straight down, if not a little bit underneath the body actually. So just heating the tip of the leg, and then just bring it down. And then finally we just need to finish the tail off. So again, another piece of sort of 10-15 mil diameter ball. I'm just warming up the rump just to speed up so I can get a good seal on the glass. Put that on. Pair of tweezers and just crimp a little line in there, and then we just heat the tail up and then down between the legs and back up again. And so there's the horse. So we'll leave that to cool for a couple of seconds. So to finish off the rocking horse, we just need to go onto the smallest flame possible and take off the piece of rod that we were holding it by. So we need to level the legs off first, and to get the horse nice and level. So just looking at it square on. I'll just take some off the back. And a little bit off this leg. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to leave the skids on a point. And then just very gently line these up. Just work out which is the best way on to put the horse. I might need to actually just alter the tail a little bit, just pull this up a little bit quicker, because the bottom of the tail is just getting in the way of the skid. Try this again. That looks a little bit better. So looking at this, I think I need to add a bit more onto this leg over here. Right, I think we're ready to go. So again, back down to a nice small flame, and I'm going to tack fuse this one first, and just let it sit. And just going around the other leg. Get a piece of thinner 5mm. And then just go around securing the 4 legs. Final one. And then just take the top off take the handle off. And there we go. Glass rocking horse.